Shit. Got my nigga Cheese in this bitch. Midwest UGK, nigga. Oh, you already know. Shit. I said my hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. This 100-round drummy. It'll knock a nigga right down. My dope on my scale. If he knocking watch lights out, my spot do be booming. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. My hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle.
Oh yeah, you already know where you at. It's time for that. Coach for the Streets, and we posted up on 3300 Trap Street. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. We got to get into it, man. First and foremost, before we get started, free Max B, man. Max B free. It ain't no longer free Max B. Max B is back. The Bigger Veil boss dog is back, man. And one thing for sure, I think is scratching the skin of Jim Jones the most. And we got to get into why their relationship is so rugged and so ragged and seem to be a Gucci and Jeezy type of situation, but with the fact that it never had no closure. And I think this could be a problem on the East Coast because at the end of the day, all the veterans in the hip hop world will have to pick a side when it comes to if you mess with Max B or if you mess with Capo. And one thing about this situation when it comes to Capo and Max B, I think Max B, we call him the wave guy because Max B was able to become an artist and create a wave at the same time. And we speaking on a wave before wave was an actual thing that all artists are promoting right now. So at the end of the day, you kind of got to credit Max B for the whole wave moniker because he was pushing this 15, 16, 17 years ago as far as how the wave is. And we see the wave still continuing today, how people say you want to ride my way. About Blase Skip, right? I think when it comes to Jim Jones, and this is no knock to Jim Jones when I say this, right? But when it comes to Jim Jones, being somebody that played the back coming into the hip-hop world, because when the Diplomats came into the game, right, Cam was on the front line of the Diplomats getting where they got. Jim Jones blew up later. By the time Jim Jones started to take off and blow up, Diplomats falling apart like a game of Jenga, nigga, right? So he played the back while you watched Cam. Cam did what he had to do for Diplomats to be what they was. When Diplomats started to separate, we seen Skull Gang, which was Jules Santana and his group. Then we seen Vamp Life, Bird Gang, which was Jim Jones and his people. We seen Max B really get his notoriety from when Bird Gang started to be a thing in the hip-hop world. Now, at this time, Jim Jones is at the front line of Bird Gang, which is nothing but a branch off of Dipset for real, right? So now Jim Jones goes from being behind the CEO artist, learning the game, and when things go left, he go his way, turn into a CEO. Now Bird Gang and his situation got a whole bunch of artists. Max B being one of those artists that had the potential to be bigger than Jim Jones. Now, keep in mind, like I said, no knock on Jim. At this time, Jim might have partial knowledge of being a CEO, which would make you be business-wise a terrible CEO, because if you don't know the business like you should, you're not going to take care of your artists like you should. But I also think being behind Cam, when Jim Jones started to do his own thing and then he started to get artists around him, and he started to push artists and be at the front of the artists he pushing and build his brand. You got to understand, Diplomats didn't go to shambles based off of, I don't think necessarily bad business. I think Diplomats went bad because egos. We got to understand that Diplomats brought a whole new ego to the game. And what I mean by that is Cam was a conceited nigga. And you following behind somebody that has this ego, and he providing this ego to the industry, and y'all following him. This is not to say that they didn't have their own egos at the time too, but these egos are starting to grow bigger. So now that the egos are growing bigger, people, it's just like being on the Bulls. Jordan was the man. When shit going down, pass him the ball. I understand you was open, nigga, but he the nigga. He the nigga. He got the shoes. He averaging 30 a game. Jordan is the nigga of the league. Get him the ball. So Cam was that for the Diplomats. Not Jim Jones. Not Jules Santana. But as egos start to become what they are for each individual person, right? You start to feel you could be the same thing Cam is. And I think Joel's felt that at one point, and I felt Jim felt that at one point. We didn't see Jim shed tears in interviews based upon reliving situations he had to experience by standing on the brand of the Diplomats. And this is why I don't take nothing away from Jim Jones, because about certain things he passionate. But where we finna go, we finna talk about bad business. Not just bad business, but if you got some type of friendship with somebody, it makes it that much more important that you hold your end of the bargain. And I think when Max came along, he was looking at Jim. When you coming from the trenches and you seeing somebody else that came from the trenches, they more in the light than you could ever be at this moment. I think Max B really believed in Jim Jones for real. You feel what I'm saying? Because he understood that they came from success. And at the time, Jim Jones was becoming successful as an individual artist, and his brand was coming up at the same time. And then I've been an artist before, so I understand how business goes. So when I decided to be like that, I understood you had to take care of the people around you just like you take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, the vision that you have to get them to believe in that vision to stay down with you enough to chase that goal down, right? I just think in the process of Jim starting to get big, Max B was starting to get big up under Jim. So in return, Capo, not knowing business all like that, you still can eat this being your artist and he being bigger than you. You're a CEO. I think ego overtook that, right? I think, shout out to Wizard of Clout, man. Good looking out, man. If y'all here, man, make sure y'all hit that button, man. It's 3300 Trap Street. It's time for that Coach for the Streets, man. We're going to always keep it real. And one thing about me, I come from the street. And this is one of them platforms where we give street perspective. We're not chasing clout off none of these people. Because at the end of the day, these platforms we using was our way out of what we was into. Me and my partner. And our goal was to never look back at going back to that. So when it comes to that, stand down is important because I look at this situation like our situation. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to let the money be the reason that things go left and we don't got no ego. Right? But once again, Jim Jones come from a movement. They had an ego. Cam had an ego. Now you got Jewels, Freaky, Hell Rail. All these people and diplomats developing an ego naturally. See? And that's the truth too. You know what I mean? And that's how I know Wizard of Clout know what he talking about. Because Jim, the swag, if you don't know Stack Bundles, man, go on YouTube and just look up Stack Bundles. Go all the way back on Stack Bundles. He's been gone for a long time. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles. Stack Bundles was another person that was around Jim, and Jim was going to be the ladder for Stack Bundle to get where he could get because his potential could get him there. Jim was the platform to open up the door for Stack Bundles to be a bigger artist. Unfortunately, Stack Bundles lost his life in the streets. But Stack Bundles would have been bigger than Jim Jones. So now, not only do we have Max B being a part of something that Jim Jones created, his brand, having the potential to be bigger than Jim Jones. We also had Max B. You got Max B and Stack Bundles. And Stack Bundles really had bars. He was really a rapper. But at the same time, he really had swag. He had an aura on him that as an artist, in today's world, if Stack was coming up, he would have blew up instantly because he had the swag. Not only did he have the swag, he had the potential. And that's where we go back to Max B. Max had the swag and the potential. And when you got the swag and the potential to be great at what you're doing, but somebody else brought you in, it's almost like an umbrella effect. They think they are what's covering you from the raindrops hitting you. So they feel like at some point you can never be bigger than me. And I think in the business, that ruins a lot of friendships, man. And we done seen this a lot, man. Look at Beanie Siegel. Let's just be honest. If we want to be honest, and I'm talking to the streets as well as the real hip hop heads, right? When I say this, I look at this Max B and Jim Jones situation like Jay-Z and Beans. Not that Jim Jones is as big as Jay-Z, but the situation is the same as Jay-Z and Beans because at this time, Jim Jones is the CEO, right? I feel like if Jay-Z would have went by Beanie Siegel and did business properly, stayed down with Beanie Siegel, no matter, everybody got ups and downs, that just come with the business. You got to accept people's lives as well as the potential they have when you sign these people, man, because people do go through real life things. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go through those things with them too. You just got to stay down with them. And I think when Beans was going through things, Jay showed himself, and Jay didn't want to be responsible for Beans. And in return, we didn't see Beans become the biggest thing Beans could have ever been. Beans out here doing food trucks and shit. In case y'all ain't noticed, right? He back like he never left. Still care. I swear to God, it's like we done missed out on. Man, shout out to Wizard of Clout, man. The whole New York gonna push Max. And I promise you, Jim is bitter. And I don't want to be the only one to say this because I like Jim Jones' music. I was proud of Jim Jones when he had to be an individual artist and branch off from diplomats, but still push the brand, but push his own brand and be his own person. Jim was able to do that. He was able to go out there, put some hits out that elevated him. He was able to go out there and get some label positions that we may have thought in the past that he wasn't capable of even running, right? So I got to tip my hat to Jim for that. Because as an individual, Jim became the potential that we didn't see at the beginning. When we seen the Diplomats first come out, to me, it was Jim Jones. It wasn't Jim Jones. It was Cam. Behind Cam, I felt like it was Jewels. Behind Jewels, I felt like it was Hell Rail and J.R. Ryder. because Jim Jones was nowhere close to a good rapper. Lock this shit in. It's time for that culture for the streets, and we posted on 3300 Trap Street, man. We just gonna keep it real. It was Cam, Jewels, Hell Rail, and J.R. Ryder. We wasn't thinking about Jim Jones having all this potential to have some type of position in the label and run artists and put out hits, nigga. We just didn't. We saw Jim Jones promoting gangs in the background, playing Dipset Muscle, if that's what you want to call it, right? But to leave that situation and become what Jim Jones became, and to still be relevant today in a younger generation of hip-hop, you got to tip your hat to that. That don't have nothing to do with the bad bit. Like, listen, man. I think Jay-Z didn't want to see Beans bigger than him. I feel like this is one of them. If you don't believe me, go back to a lot of mixtapes, Bird Game mixtapes where Max B was present, and listen to those. Even in Product of My Environment, the POME album by Jim Jones, which was a great album. This was an album by Jim Jones that you didn't have to skip no songs. You could let everything play. And that's what makes you a good artist. Nigga, when I ain't got to play Skip-a-Roo through your album, I can just let it go. POME was one of those albums. Go back and listen to that album as well. It's a lot of Max B influence. It's a lot of Max B on that album. And I think from that point, things started to go left. I'm from Hartford, and Max was like the mayor of Hartford, Connecticut. I went to 2 shows before he got locked up. Max was here at least twice a month. I'm tapped in. For sure. I'm from the Midwest, man. And we was on Max. That's the benefit of the Midwest. We never were restricted to listening to other regions. We came up listening to the East Coast. We came up listening to the West Coast, the South, all regions of the South. So a lot of hip hop influenced us. It was through in the pot like gumbo because we listened to it all. We wasn't like somebody that live in the South. They really don't listen to East Coast music. They listening to the Southern artists. We listen to everything. And Max B was one of them ones you could see the potential in Max B. He had the image. He had the potential. His music was good. He was killing mixtapes. And this was at a time when a lot of major artists was killing mixtapes. And Max B was just go back and listen to all the mixtapes, man. To understand what Max B is today and to understand what Max B was sitting up under somebody like Jim Jones. So if you feel like you ain't being pushed enough, and then you also got to understand the time stamp on everything. At the time, Max is becoming something, and his potential is beginning to shine. We also starting to see that Jim Jones has the potential to shine. It just so happens that while the light is starting to be shed on Capo, he just so happened to be in a CEO / artist position where not only is he playing artist, he playing CEO too. And as an artist, it's always terrible because them niggas always don't want no other artist that's around them and up under them to ever be bigger than them. You got to be selfless as a leader, right? To want to see people around you be leaders as well, not just people behind you. You see what I'm saying? That would make the team stronger. If I got as much confidence as you in you to pass the ball to you because I got that much confidence in you that you'll hit the shot like I would, that make our team stronger. But in these worlds, like especially hip hop, right? The ones that provide the opportunity don't want you to be bigger than them, nigga. And that always ruined the friendship no matter how close y'all was before you got there. So the way that they talk about Tony Yayo, always saluting 50 Cent for how he always provided a way for him. Nigga, let's just be honest. Tony Yayo was cool when he first came out of jail, but Tony Yayo career wouldn't have lasted no 10, 15, 20 years, nigga, to where he could live off of what he did. I'm just being honest. The nigga was trash. The nigga was trash. He ain't CEO, no, he ain't had no label position in nothing where he brought talent, nothing. He just hype dancing and shit on stage while 50 go around the world. But at the end of the day, 50 put these niggas in a position to be just as big as him. They fumbled the fucking ball. Every CEO don't put you in position to be as big as them, if not bigger, because they don't want you to, nigga. And that's why this label shit, especially being in a label with a nigga that still feel like he want to rap, that shit don't work. Because he still want to rap. That's why Yo Gotti so successful. He let his artists go out there and be big. He sit back. The less I gotta do, nigga. I got 10 niggas out there shining. I got Moneybag, I got Glorilla, I got Big Boogie, I got all these other niggas, man. And I'm making all this money, man. I don't need to get out here and try to bring back what I was living in the past into today when these niggas is doing what they doing today. For me today. He ain't having no ego. He walking around with every nigga in his camp label that they got on his neck along with his CMG. You don't see these niggas doing that because their ego won't allow them to do that, bruh. And that's why it's terrible as an artist to go, you know what I mean, and seeing these types of things. To other artists out there trying to be artists, when these opportunities arise, you got to understand these are the things that could potentially happen to you. Just because you're cool with somebody don't mean they want to see you win exactly how they win it. Because at the end of the day, people feel like we can't. It's too many people in the world for you to feel like you can't eat because you're around somebody that got the same potential as you, if not better. You feel what I'm saying? And in today's world, man, we got so much ego. This shit stopped us from being successful in so many ways, nigga. And I feel like to see Max come home. And hold on, let me get into this real quick too. I just want to play this one part because Jim Jones basically said this out of his own mouth, right? So we got to play it. And it's just, this is how I know Jim Jones saw the potential in Max B, bro. And he knew Max B could be way bigger as an artist. Not an exec, as an artist. Keep in mind, Jim, his executive position is non-existent right now. He's still putting out CDs and doing features and shit. He's still trying to be an artist. So for an artist that would want to be with Jim Jones because he got a CEO position, that would be a bad move. This nigga 52 years old still trying to be an artist, nigga. So don't look at me like I'm fucking hating on Jim Jones on Max B behalf, you know what I'm saying? When we seeing Jim Jones still try to play CEO, nigga. Still, nigga. Not try to play CEO. He's still trying to be a rapper, nigga. So how can you go to this nigga expecting the opportunity of being a rapper and a successful one when he still want to be a damn successful rapper still at 52, nigga? Man, lock this shit in, man. It's time for that, Coach for the Streets, man. We posted up on 3300 Trap Street, man. We're going to get into this video. And shout out to Moxie Approved, man, because this is an old video, but like, once again, go subscribe to his channel. But it's just what Jim said in this little part. I just want y'all to listen.
Wiz Khalifa always says that, like, if he didn't have your mixtapes or he didn't have your music, he wouldn't be who he is.
A lot of these artists right now that are singing and being very melodic, a lot of that came from that boy's whole catalog, from what he did.
A journey with scenes that would include some of the most classic interviews drowned in some of the most
If y'all ain't see that, I'm going to play it back, man. This Jim Jones talking about how he noticing other artists starting to ride a wave that Max was really starting to bring to the front. And this ain't to say that Max B created this shit, bruh, because he didn't. You got your Nate Dogs. You got your... It's a lot of other artists out there that was singing, your Cocaines. Shout out to all the artists that was putting the melodies in them hooks and bringing the melodics to the lyrics, right? Max B wasn't the one. He's one of some of the ones. But this is also Jim Jones letting you know that he saw this. Before we get back into this video, look at his face as he says this. Do he look fucking happy? This is how you know how much love people got for you. When you start winning, look at their goddamn expressions on their face. When they supposed to be celebrating you, nigga, they ain't looking as happy as you, nigga.
orthodox styles to date.
Obviously, it's Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa always says that, like, if he didn't have your mixtapes or he didn't have your music, he wouldn't be who he is.
A lot of these artists right now that are singing and being very melodic, a lot of that came from that boy's whole catalog, from what he did.
A journey with scenes that would include
Now, we also got to now, if you don't follow Jim Jones like that, he done a lot of interviews. He get asked a lot of questions. They ask him a lot about Max B on the regular. On the regular. Lock this shit in. And in one interview, he did say, I gave niggas one day worth what I felt like they was worth. What you felt like they was worth, nigga. Because Max B was worth something. And you fumbled the fucking ball, nigga. You fumbled the fucking ball, nigga. Then Max get to hanging with French. At the time, French trying to get in the game all the way. He bringing hip-hop blogging and DVDs to the forefront at the time. French Montana had a platform. He gave Max B that platform. In return, Max B, these niggas, you ever heard of one hand scratch the other? This is the perfect example right here. French Montana and Max B. Because French Montana wanted to do something. And I'm pretty sure the game at the time didn't feel like that French Montana had the potential to be where he is right now. And we came from that era of hip-hop where it was super political, nigga. You had to catch a nigga coming outside the building, nigga, and rap to this nigga before he get to his car. And that shit better have been good, nigga. His platform of blogging and interviewing rappers became bigger than the rapper he wanted to be at that time. And here come Max B. Max B don't got the potential to be a CEO. Max B don't got the potential to be an executive at that time. Max B good at being an artist. Max B good at, now I'm setting these trends, but I got a nigga over here blocking me. French Montana gave him that platform. And like a nigga with potential supposed to do, bro. He used the platform. Like a lot of these people always argue about money, bro. I don't need your money. If I got the potential, all I need is the opportunity, nigga. I got my own hustle. So if you put me around the stars, and I'm always around stars, damn near every picture they taking, I'm in the picture too, nigga. I'm going to figure out how to turn that into some bread for myself. I'm not just going to depend on being side by side with a nigga. And lean on that as a career, nigga. I got to make a career out of this shit, nigga. And most of these niggas get lazy. They get entitled. I don't feel like Max B was one of them lazy, entitled niggas. Look how much music this nigga put out. Look at the wave he put down as he was elevating in the game. All these years later, we got to see Max B come home from federal custody, nigga. And we watched French Montana treat Max B better than Jim Jones treated Mel Murda, and Mel Murda get praised by Jim Jones way more than French Montana was out here. Shout out my big Billy Badasses and Whoop and Whoop and 9 Trey Billy Bloods and all that old bullshit that don't matter, nigga. Lock this shit in, nigga. Because Mel Murda should be fucking embarrassed right now, nigga. You came home limping off the bus station. Train subway, nigga. This nigga didn't even pull up to the gate for you. He gave you a necklace he been wearing since you been fucking locked up, nigga. Can I see what your damn apartment look like? Fresh home. Just evidence you ain't got no damn car. He met you at the bus stop. The subway. I'm going to call it the bus stop. We don't got no subways in the Midwest, nigga. We watched this nigga with his jail papers and letters and shit. Probably had some stamps in that bitch. Limping from the motherfucking subway. Carrying a bag of shit. And all this nigga had for him was a chain that had the logo of some shit he got indicted for in the first place, nigga. So if you come in here and you think that Max B just was a Sour Patch sitting in the back wanting a nigga spot. It wasn't that, nigga. When somebody holding you back from the potential you know you hold, nigga, it's on purpose, nigga. Look at how Mel Murda come. Nigga, he didn't even have, nigga, he still had the Fed t-shirt on, bruh. And some big, baggy, old-ass rustler jeans, nigga, that the jail give you when you ain't got no outfit brought in for you, nigga. So you gave me a chain, nigga, with the gang on this mug. But you couldn't send me a little $200-300 outfit with some decent, crispy, all whites. You couldn't send me a Uber, nigga. You didn't have no time. Nigga, you any other time you bow-legged as hell, walking around the whole New York talking about Capo this and this and that. We outside this and that, but you couldn't meet your nigga. At the gates of the Fed jail, man. And niggas be worried about how much love a nigga got. I don't want to hang with no nigga like that. I don't want to hang with no nigga like that. Yet you see Max B come home. Yeah, he was dressed out of date when he came out the gate. He don't know no better at the time. But Frenchie went and got him right ASAP. New kid on. I'm pretty sure he driving something wrong. I'm pretty sure he got somewhere to stay. Man, what? Man, shout out Big Mac, man. I'm glad I'm not the only one seeing this shit, man. Still waiting for Mel Matrix welcome home party. Nigga ain't got one. He got that raggedy ass chain that got Jim Jones sweaty ass DNA on it, nigga. You see the nigga wasn't even super happy when he put it on his neck. Nigga, he was in jail like this, watching the nigga on every platform wear the chain. Fuck, I'm happy about this shit, man. And I had to walk, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. You better hope Mel Murda don't backdoor Capo, bruh. Straight up. Yeah, he could have sent the car for him, man. Uber ain't expensive, nigga. It didn't have to be a stretch Maybach, nigga. But the love you have for people show in how you treat them, bruh. How you handle them, bruh. Max been gone from the streets. A lot of people in hip-hop forgot about him. Forgot about him. I've been seeing posts all over the internet. Who it make me? I don't know this nigga. Nigga, shut up. Nigga, you was probably too young or you just probably was too dumb. Max B was one of them niggas, nigga. He come home, friends get him kitted up. He engaging, he getting engaged to his girl, kid on, out to eat, studio. He looking, you know what I'm saying? Mel Murda came home like a nigga that just did a bid, and he coming home, all his friends broke. But they all chipped in on getting him a necklace from the middle of the mall. Or fuck it. I ain't got nothing for you, but I've been rocking these Jordan 11 classic joints. You can have these, you feel me? You feel me? That's basically what the Jim didn't take that nigga to no jewelry store, nigga. And the money he gave him is enough money to go to the strip club and throw it on a couple bras and hope one of them come home with you. The next day, you hanging around Jim, ready to shoot somebody for him because you broke. But that's your friend, though. Meanwhile, this nigga went and did quadruple the time you did. The whole time he been gone, his homie being French Montana held him down. He came home. He showed the same amount of love that he was promoting verbally while this nigga was gone, bro. And I'm pretty sure he looked out for his family, too. And this goes back to one hand, scratch the other. Lock this shit in. Because at the end of the day, When we go back to it, French was a blogging nigga that wanted to be a rapper. And he was more successful at being a blogging YouTube nigga like type nigga than a DVD nigga, than being a rapper. And then here comes the rapper that got the potential to be the big rapper. Not only is he giving you game, you soaking game, one hand scratching the other because now you done gave him a platform to level up still. Knowing he being in this contractual dark situation with Jim Jones purposely. And Max used that platform properly. But at the same time, French Montana soaked up the game properly. And as an artist, he got bigger too. So while Max was gone, French Montana, knowing the game, was able to get bigger. I saw they had pans of catering food at Jimmy Podcast Studio. Guess that was the welcome home party. They was eating off paper plates. They got the secondhand chain. Man, shout out to Big Mac, man. Shout out to where you from, city and state, man, so I can shout you out. Man, y'all come up in here, make sure y'all shout y'all city and state out, man, so I can shout y'all out. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's time for that. Culture for the streets, and we posted on 3300 Trap Street. All you got to do is pay these niggas attention. Like I said, Gotti was a great CEO. Look at his artists. They're all successful. Dolph, great CEO. Been gone 3-4 years now. Rest in peace, Paper Route Frank. But we still see all the Paper Route niggas getting money. These type of CEOs gonna always stick out. Because there's so many CEOs in the game that ain't worth 2 pennies that you flipping on a wish, nigga. Because at the end of the day, they guarantee, I ain't gonna say they guaranteeing you, but they giving you this opportunity. But at the same time, they giving you this opportunity. Think about it like the streets, bro. Yo nigga selling birds. He out here killing. Think about that. Your pockets ain't hold nothing but the lint from the laundry you've been doing, nigga. Now, he got the lane to be able to help you get up out that situation. Now, let's just say he on 10 Bs, right? He the man. So he well off enough to help you in some type of way. Now, if you go out here and mess up, then that's on you. But providing the opportunity is all I need to do, being your homie. If I'm 10 Bs up and all I got, and all I give you is $500, nigga, I don't want you nowhere close to where I'm at. Far as level, nigga. I want you down here and I'm gonna stay up here, nigga. Because the minute that you got the potential to have 10 Bs, I'm going to start telling you I can only sell you 5. I'm going to keep you at a certain distance away from me where you never elevate higher than me. And it's the same thing in the game. We see it a lot of times from a lot of CEOs that still want to be artists, nigga. And then when the artists leave, that situation is, oh, nigga, blah, 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 blah. But they might have, some of them do have the potential to be the bigger artists. Some of them don't. A lot of them don't. In this situation, Max had the potential, bro. So to see Jim Jones saying fuck Max B, it don't surprise me because you never wanted to see him win in the first place. He was just a bag you knew you could make. And once his potential exceeded the bag that you could provide him or wanted to provide him business-wise, it became a problem because you still want to be a rapper. Nigga, you still rapping. And I think to see Max B come home and get greeted like he do, I think that get up under Capo's skin. You feel me? in a big way, because at the end of the day, there's somebody that you wanted to see fail. You didn't want to see them make it. You kept them in contractual agreements and shit like that, where he couldn't go off and be successful. He couldn't sign the G Unit. He couldn't do certain things with friends because you wouldn't let him go. You decided to go ahead and give him whatever was his, rightfully so, while he doing all his time, which to me was even more petty. Because being a real one, you could have did it when he really needed it, which was before he ever went to jail, when he had them opportunities on the table to be able to further his career. You didn't want to see him do that because you wanted to be bigger than Max B wanted to be. And as an artist, if you ever have that mentality of yourself and you go get up under somebody that has that mentality, just know this shit ain't gonna work for you, bro. Because the person you up under ain't gonna put they all into you, because they still doing the same thing you doing, and they don't never want you to be bigger than them, because if you become bigger than them, will they ever even get a chance? At some point, ego is just as much of a root of all evil as money is. Because most of the things we see happening is happening over money, and niggas having ego based off of other people's talent that's around them, and that ruins friendships. And in hip hop, we done seen a lot of friendships ruined based off of the potential somebody had, but the person that gave you the opportunity wished they had that potential that you had. So in order to prove that they got that type of potential, they got to block you away from sprouting properly. So we see a Jay-Z today, and we see a Beanie Siegel today selling you sandwiches out of a truck. That don't mean he ain't successful. That just mean that it was gatekeepers in his way, and Hov was one of them gatekeepers. I could never say Cam was a gatekeeper to Jim, because Jim was able to still go out there and get big. But I will say Jim was a gatekeeper to people around him, because at the end of the day, when you and Max B fell out, you went and got somebody that kind of sounded like Max B, the bootleg version, the bootleg DVD version of Max B. Sin. And that was just another petty move, because if me and you into it and we was really homeboys, why would I go get somebody that sound like you? And then start doing music with him, and he did a lot of music with Sin and hope for the same effect that he would have got from the POME album with Max B. And it didn't happen because Sin sound like Max B. The bootleg DVD version. Capo been showing us for the last 20 years, man, how petty of a nigga he is, bro. And I think that just hurt a lot of, not just hurt, but I think that hurt a lot of East Coast artists that became CEOs later on in their careers, because their ego was so big they didn't want to sign nobody that had the potential to be bigger than them. Who has Hov signed that became bigger than them? Who Nas signed that became bigger than them? Who Ja Rule signed that became bigger than him? Biggie never signed nobody that became bigger than him. These niggas don't sign nobody that become bigger than them. That's just what it is. And once again, man, welcome home, Max B. Keep rubbing it in these niggas' faces, man, because when niggas don't want to see you win, but you want to see yourself win and you work toward that, man, it manifests, man. Not the hatred niggas got for you, but you want for yourself manifest, man. Keep pushing that. And I'm glad to see that French Montana and Max B back together, because the Coke Boy series and the whole Coke Boy wave they was doing, that right there for me, that was a time. I still go back and listen to that, to those songs, to these songs. And to see somebody like Max B come home after 17 years, man, and still have the same charisma, the same personality, from the way we seeing him right now, it looks like he has the same potential that he had when he went in. And for a lot of people, it don't happen like that. So shout out to Max B, man. Shout out to French Montana for being a real nigga. Mel Murda. Let me just say this real quick, man. Lock this shit in. You need to call Jimmy, bro. Because he treated you like a dope fiend. On camera. Capo treated you like a dope fiend. On camera, nigga. And I thought you was the big gang leader, nigga. Man, it's time for that Coach for the Streets, hosted by Mafia and Pain. We posted up on 3300 Trap Street. Everybody that provides you an opportunity don't want to see you big. They just want to see what you're going to do with the opportunity. But the minute you become bigger than the opportunity they're giving you, it's a problem. Just understand that. Just understand that part. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man, and go watch the OG Murda episode we did with OG Murda, man. Shout out to OG Murda. He was turned up over there. You know, he already giving us them VL stories and all of that, man. It's going on, man. Shout out to my nigga Spray Paint, man. We out of here.